What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in GTA 5 taking a look at another mod. Now, I was actually trying to spawn in some other modded cars earlier, and I kind of ended up with a little bit of a lineup of cars right here, which I gotta admit, they look pretty sweet. But we're gonna be focusing on the, like I said, the 2015 Mustang GT. Now, the cool thing about this mod, actually, a lot of the many different cool things about this mod is, for one, the interior is fully functioning interior. Everything works. Turn that music off. But everything works in here. The RPM gauge works. The speedometer works. The steering wheel moves. Your hands properly move on the steering wheel, and it's just a very, very nicely done interior. You can look around, and everything is well rendered. Everything is properly rendered. And if you change views back out to the exterior view, it's just a gorgeous car to look at. It's just a really, really well detailed mod. I mean, it looks like it could have. Oh, there's another one. Sweet. But it looks like it could have come with the game, and it looks good enough that it could have come with the game, and that's really high praise for say a GTA mod, because, oh, what's up, Mad Mike? But the cool thing is that you have a mod like this, and it looks, like I said, good enough to where it could have come with the game, even though real, actual cars aren't gonna come in a GTA game. We all know this, but if they did, they would look something like this. Now, as far as customization goes, they actually provide you, the mod provides you with a whole list of extra customizations that you can do to the car on top of what you could already do to the Vapid Dominator that it replaces. So, we're going to go ahead and repair it, and we'll leave the brakes alone, but bodywork-wise, you can, the window vents, which they're called, it's really not really a window vent, it's just kind of a cover-up, but the cool stuff is when you start getting into the bumpers and stuff like that. Now, you've got a custom front splitter, which we're absolutely going to do. Now, you can go with a painted rear bumper or a stock rear bumper. I like the rear bumper to be black, so we're going to stick with that. But for the engine, obviously, fully built, so build it up to level 4. Exhaust, you got either stock exhaust or a titanium dual exhaust. I like this style. I think it looks really good. For the grill, you can have a couple of lights added to the grill, or you can just kind of leave the grill kind of blank just with the Mustang logo, and I prefer that. I mean, you could add the lights, I suppose, but, well, you know what, I'll tell you what, we'll add the lights this time around. And let's see, for the hood, you can have a carbon hood, which we're absolutely going to go for. The horn, we'll deal with that later. The lights, we're going to go with xenon headlights, and let's see, plate, we'll mess with that later. Lights, you've done lights already. Now, for the respray, you've got different liveries. You've got livery 1, 2, 3, and obviously 4. I'm going to stick with livery number 1. I think it looks really, really good. Livery number 1 is obviously a solid color, and I kind of want to stick with a solid color on this particular build, just because I really want to keep the car looking really clean. But if you wanted to use any of the other liveries, I mean, you can go for it, because the car does look good in pretty much any livery you can get it in. But let's see, you can have rear louvers, carbon roof, or the carbon roof and the louvers. I like I don't know, I like the carbon roof without the louvers, but I know some people prefer it with. But for this build, I'm gonna go with it without the louvers, because I think that looks really clean, and it looks really it looks really simple. It doesn't look too busy. Now, you can do custom side skirts as well. You can do, now the spoilers are interesting, because you can have no spoiler at all. You can have what they call a ducktail spoiler, which it isn't really a proper ducktail spoiler, but it looks really cool, and it's not ricey. It actually complements the car very well. The high-level spoiler is mounted directly to the rear of the car, and, I mean, if you're going for maybe your interpretation of what a 2015 Formula Drift Mustang might look like, that might be something you would want to go for, but I'm perfectly happy with this mid-level spoiler. I think it looks really, really nice, and it definitely complements the look of the car. Now, as far as the suspension goes, you can drop it all the way down on competition suspension, gets rid of that wheel gap, gives it a really solid stance. Transmission, obviously upgraded to race transmission, turbo tuning. And now for the wheels. Now, as far as the wheels go, I'm going to go, let's see, yeah, into high-end. Now, the wheels, it's funny because you really have to be careful what wheels you choose for this car, because some will look great and some will look absolutely awful, which I'm not sure why. It just seems to be one of those things about how this car actually turned out. Now, the Carbonic Z, or the carbon version, looks really, really good. Now, let's see. The Carbon S Racer, it looks okay, but, oh, actually, now that I look at it from the side, it actually looks really good. But, I'm trying to think if there's any other color I would want to paint the wheels anyway. we're actually gonna go with the chromatic Z, but we're going to do a slightly different color, not quite carbon black, but, and not really like any kind of red or anything bright, but let's see. The gold, I mean, I don't know, it could be cool, but I think the dark copper does look good too. It's, ooh. That's cool. That's cool. I think that definitely sets it off. That little, having the wheels be that little bit of a kind of a blue accent, that looks quite cool. Now for wheel accessories, we're gonna go with custom tires. I don't know. I don't really like to put bulletproof tires on them because then once you put bulletproof tires on, you kind of limit your ability of stuff. You limit your abilities of stuff you can do with the car if you wanted to lower it any further or something like that. You know, with any kind of lowering glitch. But no, definitely, at this point, I mean, it's a really solid-looking car. It really is, and I think that they did a great job not only making the mod, but adding all of the extra tuning parameters into it as well. Not really tuning parameters, but tuning options, or upgrading options. Now, let's see. We don't want to spawn another vehicle, but we do want to switch the time to noon. So, yes, much better. Much, 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 much better. Power! And if there's one thing you could say about this car, it loves to go sideways. Even, like, this car, fully upgraded, is almost on the same level as some other cars with a drift mod. It's that crazy as far as how much it wants to go sideways. We can actually, should be able to demonstrate that right here. And if there wasn't a Prius right there, it would have been actually a really successful drift. But the thing is, it's a very balanced car, even without a drift mod, even without a handling mod, and which is kind of cool because it's not. I mean, I guess you could say you're not going to get massive amounts of oversteer like you would with a drift mod, but what you do get is a balance, like an easily balanced, very controllable drift car on the stock handling. And I mean, I feel like that says a lot about not only the car, but it says a lot about the car as it was stock if you hadn't used it stock. But the thing is too, it makes you not have to mess around with the handling model at all, and that was quite terrible. But let's go to another area and just kind of redeem ourselves from that, because that was crap. But alright, come on. There we go. Much better. But the thing is, for some people, they don't really want to spend a bunch of time trying to mess with the handling files. They don't want to spend a ton of time. They just want to get their mod and install it and be good to go. And that's perfectly fine. That's actually, you save yourself a lot of time doing that if you don't want to bother with handling mods. Now, are handling mods fun? Absolutely. Are they worth it for everybody? I mean, it depends on who you are. It depends on what you want out of the game. And for me, sometimes I feel like they're worth it because I want to take, you know, a certain car, or, you know, like whatever car I would want to, excuse me, and you just get it ridiculously sideways, way more sideways than you could ever get anything on the stock handling. But at the same time, it's definitely, ooh, let's spin around, I didn't mean to come in here, but it's definitely one of those things where it all depends on how you want to play the game. If you want it to be, you know, GTA drift mode, then sure, get a handling mod, but if you just want to kind of slide the car around, this car definitely works well for that, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun to use just for sliding around and just kind of hooning around the city in. Problem is, we're getting a little bit of frame drop here and there, and that's kind of messing things up a bit, but what was weird is the Infernus. I was trying to swap the Infernus to another mod, or replace the Infernus with a modded vehicle. I won't quite tell you guys what exactly that is yet, just in case I can get it to work, but it didn't really work, and now I'm seeing a bunch of stock Infernuses driving around because I messed with it, and so it's just spawning a bunch of the stock ones in instead of the actual proper mod that I wanted. And the other thing too is that it's spawning in so many of those so many of Mad Mike's RX-7s that you start to see them everywhere. Dang it! Every time, okay, not every time, but quite a few times when I've initiated a slide at an intersection, somebody has decided to just pull out into the intersection right at that precise moment. Lost all the speed we had on that drift. Oh my god, two of them right next to each other. Jeez. Here we go, there we go. There we go, much better. Much better. Oh, God. Oh, God. I couldn't actually wait, we did tap the trash can. I looked back and it was knocked over. But the thing is, okay. Okay. If you want to drift it properly, you know what? I'm starting to think if you want to drift it properly, you need a drift mod. I mean, really, like, to the point where you would really consider it drifting. I mean, if you want to just, like I said, slide around, perfectly fine. But, yeah, if you want to properly drift the thing, you need a drift mod. Now, as far as the car goes, overall, the mod, I love it. It's a really well-done mod. Graphically, it's amazing. There's really nothing that you would need to add to it. I mean, it's a really, really well-done, really complete mod. And I do want to actually take it for a little bit of a drive after I repair it real quick. There we go. Yeah, much better. Much better. I'm a lot more happy with it now. But, or a lot... Jeez, a lot happier with it now. Good grief. Question is, where do we want to take it for a little bit of a drive? Now, after just kind of, you know, hooning it around a little bit, it's funny because the Dominator, even though, well, I say the Dominator, this is based on the Dominator, but even though it's a muscle car and traditionally isn't the best as far as handling goes, it's no slouch when it comes to corners, though. It's no slouch when it comes to being a driver's car, especially with the upgraded suspension. So, the brakes are slightly stock, though. And I left the brakes stock because it's a little bit easier to control slides with the stock brakes for some reason. But, when it comes to stopping, the stock brakes are iffy at best. So, it's one of those things that you have to kind of focus on and kind of think about before you upgrade a car, like, what am I going to use this for? And if you're going to use it for driving around a lot, and you're going to use it for driving fast, yeah, absolutely go race brakes. But, at the same time, if you're going to use it for more drifting / hooniganism purposes, then I would actually recommend the stock brakes, because the stock brakes are a little bit easier to use to maintain a slide, because they don't just kind of, they don't just clamp down and stop the car immediately. They give you a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of wiggle room. Oh, I love this section coming up. Oh, jeez! Ooh, that was almost terrible. Not too bad of a slide. See if we can keep that trend going. That one, yeah, it was alright. Wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. There we go. I kind of wish this section was longer. Overcooked that one. But I wish this section was longer because it's a really fun section to drive. You just don't get much room with it. I love it, just past those dudes going sideways completely. Whoa, ridiculous frame drop all of a sudden. Holy crap. Wow, that frame drop was insane. That's the worst frame drop I've had in a long time in GTA. Jeez. And come on. Oh, there we go. There we go. I love it because you can definitely have some proper fun with this car. Even without a handling mod, it's a really fun car to drive. And I highly recommend it. I highly recommend that you download it. I'll leave a link in the description box below to where you guys can check it out. And I definitely, like I said, you need one of these in your garage. You absolutely need one of these in your garage. But if you guys enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.